Remember that we did a test case in the last class, right? Let's see what was in that test case. So today what I'm going to cover is I'm going to explore a little bit more thing on object repository, and once I'm done with that, I'm going to show you how to use Excel with Microsoft with HP UFT. So let's see what we have. So we have this test case, right? If you take a look, let's say we did it in the last class, New Tours flight blue book, right? New Tours HP New Tours booking flight, but the goal is here not to discuss about the test case but to explore some other thing. If you take a look here, folks, we have two object repository here. Guys, can you tell me what you can see in the screen?
Yes, either one is local, one is automate.
Yeah, so you can see two object repository. Can you tell me what is the difference between these two object repository?
One is shared object repository and one is local. One is permanent.
Okay. One of the object repository is shared, one is local. Now what is the difference between these two object repository type, local and new to shared object repository?
Local repository, object repository you can use only for like this what you made for, and shared object repository you can use again by again. But local you can use like one time.
Okay.
When you want test case.
Okay. So local object repository is, we can use local object repository with only this test case 2. But shared object repository we can use it with all of the test cases, right?
Okay.
Now can you see, okay, let me bring that list of test cases those we have and we need to automate, and after that I'll show you something here. And also you can see that we have a function library here, right? What is the what do we have in that function library?
This automation, but there is a function library we have
So the functions those we are calling from here, from this action, their details is in that function library, right? Their details is in that function library. Now why we have to put this detail of the functions into the function library? Is there any answer from you guys?
is for we do from the function to action.
Yeah, but as you can see here that we have only written the name of the functions here, but the details of the function we have written it in a function library. What is the reason?
Something like the reason is the purpose of function library. We need to orientate every basic like need to orientate everything like find out easily where we get this easily to our what portion we need to find out. We get this easily. We use function library. Script is oriented.
Right, so see whatever you have told, but remember that these functions those we have written in this function library, we are going to use the same function library with other test cases. For other test cases we are not going to write another function for browser close, We are not going to write another function for opening application. We are not going to write another function for image verify. We are not going to write another function for login. Basically, we are going to use the same functions. Same functions. We will just make a call. So that's why we put them in a common place, right? So let's say you have 5 brother and sister in your family. Okay. So your mother put some money in a particular place for all of you. Whenever you need money, use it from there. So what do you do? 5 brother and sister, whenever they need money, they go to that place and take money and they use them. So it is same way. Let's say you have 5 test case, 5 brothers and sisters. So whenever they need to use some function, they will be coming here. They will be just, instead of writing all of this code, all of these lines, they will just write this function and they will be able to use all of this code. Does it make sense now?
Yes.
Okay. So now, as you have noticed, we have 3 test cases. One is for login and logout, another one is for booking flight, and another one is for menu item verification. These 3 test cases. So basically, these 3 test cases has one thing common. What is that common thing? Is open application,
Open browser.
yeah,
And is input user and password.
and then sign in
click
button,
sign on and sign off.
sign up. These things are common, right?
Right.
And other than that, in test case 2 and 3 we have some other functionalities, right? So I will demonstrate how object repository and function library is helpful in team automation. When a team of people work together, how this concept of object repository and function library helps. Okay, now let me go back to the test cases here. If you execute this test case, right, what will happen here? If you execute this test case, it will execute all of these 10 functions here, right? So I'm putting a breakpoint on line number 8, and let me start execution. You will see it will execute up to line number 7, and then it will be stopping execution on line number 8. It will be waiting for me to interact. Okay, now can you see it is waiting here in line number 8 for me to interact, right? So it has already executed from line number 1 to line number 7, and in line number 8 it is waiting sign in image verify, right? It is waiting to verify, excuse me, it is waiting to verify this sign in image. Okay, now once we start execution again, it will be verifying this sign in image or button. Okay, so far excuse me guys,
one thing is when you do execute, your on is and our on is showing different way.
what different way?
If our on is showing on the left side, is on the same like a network automation, even if like same one, but you need to, your on is showing different way result.
Is it same now?
There is a different version, that's why.
Yeah,
Okay.
You have a upgraded version. In my one I have a older version. Okay. Now,
Okay.
alright guys, so focus here that flight finder image verify. After login we have verified that flight finder image, right? Let me take a look what we have in that function. Flight finder image verified. Now can you see this flight finder image? Where do I have it? I have it in this shared object repository. In this shared object repository I have this flight finder. Let me see, yeah, flight find, yeah. Can you see this flight finder image? I have it in the shared object repository. But instead of putting it in the shared object repository, if I put it in the local object repository, I will not be able to use that object in other test cases. So the purpose of putting this object here so that I can use it in the other test cases. So if I put objects in this local object repository, whatever objects I put here, I will not be able to use them in the other test cases. Now let's say 5 people working in a team, right? 5 people working in a team, and let's say me, Munir, Abdul, Nabed, we are working in a team. So at that time we all will be working on automation. So if this object repository in a common place, we all can access. So if I have this object repository opened and in edit mode, right? If Nabed, if you open this object repository, you will get it locked. It will say this object repository is locked. You cannot edit it. Or if any, like as I said, this object repository in a shared place, and if any of the team member is using this object repository and editing it in edit mode, then other people will not be able to add objects. Does it make sense?
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
Then when you are working in a team, the purpose of shared object repository is so that all people can use it. Is that correct?
Yes.
So in this case what we are seeing that, you know, 1 people at a time can use this object repository. Okay, so this is a problem, this is a real problem. So if 1 people can use this object repository at a time, then the main goal, working as a team together, this goal is not, you know, satisfying. So how we can make sure that multiple people can work together, right? How we can make sure that multiple people can work together? So let me show you a couple of things here. So let me see where this object repository is located. File, save as. So I have this object repository here. I'm going to make a copy of this one. Let's say I'm going to name it as Nabed, right? Okay. Now what Nabed you can do, let's say you are working, right? So what you can do, you can associate the other object repository. Let's say this one,
Okay.
right? And this one, let's say I'm going to I'm not using it because I have my, let's say I'm working on this one, Nabed working on this one, and let me make a copy of this as myself. let's say I'm going to make it as,
How is it? Is it a copy?
no, I'm opening it and file save as.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm going to associate my one with this, and I'm going to remove Naved's one. Now let's say what we did so far in this action, we have flight finder image verify, right? And then in test case 2, what is the next step? Then select one-way radio button, right? So if I go to the application, I'll have to write another function, right? So I'm going to open the object repository, and in the object repository I'm going to edit mode. See, the object repository that I opened, it is under my name, and click plus, and I'm going to go to the application, and I'm going to select this one-way radio button. Okay, and then this, you know, flight, let's say I'm naming it as trip type. What is the name? Trip type. Trip type web radio group.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
How do you do it like, you add object deposits like plus, you add plus, and you like, what you say, you go directly e-browser, but when you click it then this object is coming over there, like nothing too specific. But if you use any query, how do you like control? You press any key and
Yeah, I pressed control and then this button,
okay, that's
because
control and click.
when you have selected, let's say your application is not visible. Let me make this application hidden. Now if you click on plus, your application is not visible, but you have already clicked plus. If you select anything, it will be selecting that object. So what you can do, you press control and then your plus is gone. You click on this object now, and then you remove control. That's it. Now you can add any object.
Okay, that's control,
Yeah.
control and leave it, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now guys, can you see that it is highlighting round trip? So I need to select one way, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to write another function. I'm going to write another function here in the function library. Select one-way radio button, and what is the object? This is the object. I'm going to
Click type web radio group.
yeah. So first I will be verify. Okay, so it will be verify one-way radio button. Now Okay, so I already verified this one. Now the next step is click on that radio button. So how do you do that? Let's say remove everything, and then you come here, select, and what do you do to select a radio button? Let's say now if you go back to your object repository, folks, right? Let me show you one thing here. Okay, let me show you. If you click on plus, now can you see?
Click on what? Plus?
Yeah, if you click on plus, can you see items count? How many items in that radio group?
Oh, okay.
How many items in the radio group? Two. And then you have seen that one second. Round trip, one way. So what are the items? Round trip and one way.
Round trip, one way.
Round trip, one way. And when you have right, this one. Now, so when you have two items, remember the first item is 0 and the second item is #0, second item is #1. Remember that. The first item is #0 and the second item is #1.
#1.
Yeah. So I'll show you how this works. Actually, to show you what is this mean. If you have two radio items in a radio group, the first item is 0 and the second item is 1. Now if I execute it, right? Now if I execute it, okay, then can you see here what is happening? I want you to notice here. Let me see what it was able to do in the application. So we are still in round trip, but let's take a look. Let me take a
You need
look.
to check out the breakpoint, no?
One second, yeah, no worries. Let me do one thing here. Let me copy these lines of code, and instead of going through the whole execution, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this code here, and in between these two I'm going to put a wait of 2 seconds, or let's say 5 seconds or so. Right now if you execute from this line,
My question is, this if you put like this is okay, or I need to put 0 is first, then is 1.
yeah, that is fine, but I have, see, my purpose is to select one way. The index of one way is 1, but to show you something I'm showing this. You do not have to do that.
Okay.
I'm just showing you something how this works. So run from step. Now if you do that, can you see it has selected one way?
No, I can see. Okay, now it's coming.
Now let me put a breakpoint here again. Let me put a breakpoint here. Run from, actually let me put a breakpoint here and run from. Now if you go to the application, can you see one way is selected?
Yes.
Now why one way is selected? Because we have executed line number 13 where we have selected hash 1. Hash 1 means the second item. Now after waiting 5 seconds, we are going to execute hash 0. That means the first item will be selected again. We will see. Can you see now it has gone to the first item again? It has gone to the first item again because we have selected hash 1 first and then hash 0. Now let me remove this. So here, that is how, if you have a radio button, your first item will be 0, your second item will be 1, your third item will be 2. Now let me remove it. So what I did, I have added this radio group in the object repository named under me. So what I did, I have added that radio group here in this object repository, and I am going to close it. Now let's say I have selected one way. Now let's say Naved is working. Naved is working as well. And what is the next function to automate? If you go to the functionality, from the passengers drop down list, select 2, right? From the passengers drop down list, right? Let me see. In the passenger drop down, from this passenger drop down, you select 2. Let's say I want to select 4, not 2. I want to select 4. So let me update this test case. From the passengers drop down, I am going to select 4. I am going to select 4. Now if you come here, let's say Naved is working and he is going to add this passengers drop down. Now I was working in my repository, I am going to remove that, and Naved actually, let me keep my object repository, and let's say I am Naved. I am going to associate his repository, and I am going to add that particular object over here. What is first I'll have to go to edit mode and then plus, what is that object? Passengers type radio button. And can you see passenger count? I'm going to give a meaningful name. Passenger count web list. Right? I'm going to add it, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to add another couple of functions here. So here what we are going to do, we are going to bring this object here, and then I'm going to so what I'm going to do here, passenger web list displayed. Oh, what we can do, you can select Ctrl H here and you can replace it by this one. See how this works. So you say find, actually you start from here, find next, replace, I'm not going to replace there. Now let me show you what I did here. So this will be web list, right? So we have all of the web list everywhere. We have verified passenger web list, and then one thing I forgot to change here is one. Okay, now so what we did, we have written another function. First we verified that passenger web list exists, and then first we are verifying, and in this function we are selecting.
This is the case of what is verify also, right? So verify, I want to say like why need like two functions over here. We can put this one also over here after highlighted, and if we equal to one function, first one is exit, then highlighted, then it's like selected.
Yeah, now but we can put it in the same function, but we are not doing it because this verification is one function, and then this click is one function. So each of our activity will be different function, and the purpose of modularizing it is, the purpose is when we are using it in the framework, it can fail in the verification, and then it can fail in the select. So we want to keep it separate. If it fails in the verification, then we know it is failing in the verification. If it fails in the select, then we know it is failing in the select. So when you do framework, you do every pieces separately. Does it make sense, Navid? No, you do everything as I directed. You do everything in separate function. Now take a look. What is the thing that you need to select? 4. Now the index of the first item is 0, the second item is 1, the third item is 2, the fourth item is 3. So we want to select here 3. Does it make sense?
If you do what there is like for it will be workflow, no?
What?
If you put over there like a 4, no, you don't need to put like hash. Just you select, then you put it like 4.
No, if you hold on, if you put 4 in the list, do you have anything that has index 4?
Yes.
What is that?
Yes. Like this 4 is like a pattern, select the drop down of pattern 4.
But the indexing starts from 0. So the first item is 0, the second item is 1, the third item is 2, the fourth item is 3. But you do not have another item to put 4.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes, I understand.
Okay.
But no, what I say, this if you put like you need to put that time hash, that you put direct 4, so it will be select 4.
No, it doesn't work in that way. Let me put 4 and you will see what happens.
No, don't take out the hash.
Oh, you want me to take out hash? Okay, sure. Okay.
Yes.
Now let me do here.
But you need to change the statement.
What do I need to change?
Verify the passenger button image or the passenger button force. Verify.
Verify. We are not. Yeah. What do we need to change here?
On the chart.
Oh, that is different. That is different.
Okay.
We want to keep it as it is. Now let me go to. Let me see what I have in the action. Okay. Then I'm going to bring the function strip type verify. then trip type radio group select, passenger web list verify, then over there
that statement is what you don't need to change that one.
which one?
Statement last two statement is in number 118
100
and number 105.
118.
118, yeah, 118.
Oh,
You verify on the radio button.
yeah, this is click or select. This is comment, right? This is comment.
Yes, yes.
It doesn't matter, but it is meaningful. Always you
Yeah.
change it.
Meaningful, yeah.
Okay. Now if I execute it,
Response is there.
now so let me see what is happening up there. So sign in image verify, it is waiting. Oh, probably because of the breakpoint.
That's fine.
So what is happening here? When we are selecting the web list, when we are putting 4, it is able to select 4. So we can
Yes.
put directly 4 or we can put their index.
And that's an ID different.
Yeah. So both way here, both way will work. You can directly put that item, or let's see if I put #3, how does it?
Yeah.
Probably here we'll have to put directly 4. Let me double try here. Probably we need to put hash in the radio button, but not in this one. But let me double check. Yeah, so both way it will be working both way. You can directly put in the web list. In the web list, you can directly put the item or you can put its index. The item or its index. Now, let me tell you, I have added one object. In Naved's repository, that is that web list. I'm going to save it. Remember, you have to save it. I'm going to save it and close it. And then I have another object that is over there. That is, let's say, I have this script type in this object repository. Now let's say that another person in the team who let's say this is my one, this is Naved's, and let's say another person in the team who is working with this repository, right, with this repository, because all people cannot work in the same repository at the same time. So what we are doing, we are creating copy of that repository, right? So when another people is working with this repository, in this repository, if you go to that repository, you will see in this one we do not have the trip type radio button or the passenger web list. We do not have them in this object repository. So if you execute it, if you now execute it, if you now execute it, can you see trip type web radio group object was not found in the object repository? Does it make sense? Trip type object radio group was not found in the object repository. Does it make sense to all of you?
What do you mean that is?
Because this trip type radio group, right? We have the trip type radio group. Go ahead, Naved.
Not shared. But your object repository is not shared with other people.
So
it's not added something.
So what happens here? The object repository that we have, in that object repository, can you see we do not have the trip type radio group?
Yes.
Because the trip.
On the share of the repository?
Yeah, it
so
is.
How do you update it? Like, all are same page.
Yeah. Now the question here, Naved is using his object repository, me using my object repository, another guy in the team using his object repository, and he is not getting objects that is added in Naved's repository or objects that added in my repository. So how you synchronize it? So that is when it comes object repository merge, because when each people is working with their own repository, they are adding objects. We can access function library but not the object. So what we will have to do, we can do two way. We can add the other people's repository. Let's say if I add Naved's repository, and if I execute it, you'll see what will happen.
So normally, suppose we have a 100 test case. So they gave you 5 people. The first one you complete list 20. After that, list 20 you complete the next one. So suppose I'm working the first 20 and next one is working 21 to 40. And when they add something, they mark it, and when I run it, I saw his object repository is working or somebody else is working. It's supposed to be work like this.
So when you work in a team, that is what I am discussing here. Let me finish my discussion and then I will answer your question. Now can you see the trip type radio group? Can you see what is the name? It is not found. It is not finding the trip type radio group, the radio button.
Okay.
Now if you go back to the object repository, Naved's object repository, let me go back to Naved's object repository here, and in his radio group we have the web list, not the radio button. So what I'm going to do, the radio group is in my repository. I'm going to add this one as well. Now if you execute it with all this repository,
together.
Now we have everything, right? But the problem here, if you have 20 people in the team, can you imagine you will have to associate 20 object repository? Because 20 people have added different objects.
Yeah.
So this is a problem, and if you add 20 object repository, it will make your work too much complicated. You will not know what object in which repository. It will be very hard. So what we do, we keep only one master repository with every test case, and multiple people added multiple object. But what we do in the master object repository, can you see tools, and can you see object repository merge tool? Click on it, and then here you can select primary, right? Primary will be the master object repository, and secondary will be, let's say, Naved. At the end of every day, what we do, we associate. Can you see now? Can you see one unique objects added from secondary file, right? One unique objects added from secondary file, right? Now can you see, now in the master repository we have this pass count web list, passenger count web list. Still we have one object missing. What is that? The radio group. So what we are going to do, we are going to tools again. Okay, let me save it, and I'm going to save it as the master object repository. Okay, hold on. So let's say, let me close this master object. Okay, so what I'm going to do, so this one, right? So can you see this object from the secondary Naved's repository is added in the master object repository. Now what you do, click on save. It cannot save because the master is open. So what you do, file, save as, and let's say you name it as master, right? Now hold on, file, save as, let me okay, master.tsr. okay, now if you close it, if you close this object repository, right, and let me open the master object repository. Basically file, open this master object repository. Now in this object repository we have passenger count but not the radio group. So what I am going to do, I am going to object repository merge tool, and I am going to associate this master and this another repository Zahirul. I am going to associate, merge these two. Can you see, one unique object repository added from primary file, one object added from secondary file. So what is this? Trip type and pass count. Now in this one we have both passenger count and trip type. So what I am going to do, save as, and I am going to save it as master. Let's see if it can save it. Now the master got everything. right? Now if you close it and bring that master object repository, this one, and in the master object repository, now you will see all of the objects in the master object repository: passenger count, trip tag. Does it make sense, everyone?
Yes. So who make it master object repository? When you got test case, did somebody make it, or like we discuss the team there and I make the master one and then you add this all the department?
Normally there is a master object repository or a couple of master object repository. Let's say if your application is too big, you divide the objects in 2 or 3 object repository, but there will be a master object repository, and any of the team member, whenever he is done with modification, he combine his object repository with the master. Let's say at the end of the day, whatever I have done, I will associate everything from my object repository to the master. Whenever you are done, I will be answering your question. Whenever you are done, you will be adding your object to the master.
After finishing all test cases, then I put it in master.
Actually, not after finishing. It is basically typically at the end of the day, or whenever you need to execute all of the test case. Before you execute all of the test case, you associate all of the object from all of the object repository to the master object repository before you do an execution.
So you say every day we need to add the object repository in master, but end of the all test cases we need to make sure all test cases go to the master object repository.
Yeah, all the objects are going to the master object repository, otherwise it will not work. And with all of the test case, you normally associate only the master object repository, not the other repository.
So you say day-to-day update, and also when the done also you did.
Yeah.
If it is happen like I don't put day-to-day, but I put all together in one time.
Yeah, that will work, but remember that when we do the automation development, let's say frequently we execute whatever we have developed so far, we execute all of the test cases, and if your master object repository is not updated, when we do the execution, your test case will be failing. So you do not want in the team that only other people's test cases are working but yours one are not working. So you will always be looking so that your objects are merged with the master object repository, so that your reputation do not get tarnished.
Okay.
If your test cases fail, people will think, oh, this guy is not a good worker. Any question? Any more questions so far?
Not right now. Can we go a little bit break now?
Yeah, so guys, I took a little bit more than 10:30, so take 10-minute break from now, and after that we will have further discussion, but come back exactly 10 minutes from now. I will not be able to wait for you. If you are late, then you are late. So just after 10 minutes from now, come back.
I have a quick question from mobile.
Sure.
Like Balashbhai did some QTP. So in that way we are learning UFT. Like it's like update version or latest version. So same work we did or we do like QTP, the same work.
Yeah, same one.
Yeah, but some company use like QTP.
So no company at the time using QTP. All of them are using UFT. So QTP, by using the older version of QTP, he was trying to give you some basic idea. Basically, whatever you did in QTP, you can do the same thing here, and this is the way you will be doing.
You said normally most most of the company use a UFT right now.
Everyone is updated to UFT. Nobody is using QTP.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking like I saw that most of the like job option you need to run QTP.
They say QTP. By QTP they mean UFT because nobody is using QTP anymore. But it is more known as QTP than UFT.
Okay. And how long time we take, need to like learn all stuff? So how long will it take? Like
What is the question? What is the question, Nabed, again?
how long time will it take like UFT part? Like right now, how is the position? Still we need to like framework and what else we need to learn in UFT?
See, after that I'm going to start Excel, and probably it will take another 2 or 3 class for the remaining part that I wanted to cover.
Okay. And then you show a framework and
Actually, within next 3 class I am going to finish UFT.